Skyrim Special Edition mods.
Welcome, fellow gamers. This is Muddywater79 here. I wanted to give a shout out to those that just joined the Launchpad Club. Definitely welcome to have you, and look forward to seeing many great posts, videos, discussions, and game time. So tonight we're talking about Skyrim Special Edition, in more particular the mods. So if you're new like I am to the console edition here with mods, it's just like foreign. So I want to go ahead and do some step-by-step instructions. The first time I tried the mods, I ended up crashing my game, so hopefully we can help save you from crashing yours. One thing I did want to give a shout out to though, this is the Prima Games official strategy guide. There's over 1,000 pages in this book. If you are new to Skyrim, I mean, everything from a full-size map to how to build your characters, secret locations, everything's right here. Highly suggest you get it. It's like $25 on Amazon right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the footage and we'll talk about the mods.
Alright guys, so Skyrim Special Edition, you'll see right away on the opening menu that there is an option for mods. So, first thing I wanted to say though, is if you enable any mods, that will disable your trophies. So I would suggest that, you definitely go ahead with playing through the vanilla Skyrim a little bit at first, before you go ahead and try out mods. Now, the exception to that is that you can create a separate save game to have the mods on. So technically you can bounce back and forth between your modded game and your vanilla Skyrim. But each time you do that, you have to enable all mods when you want to play your modded game, and go into disable all mods when you want to play your vanilla Skyrim. So there is a difference. As you can see here, I have a modded game. I also have my main vanilla game, and there's an option for the prisoner options, like your default if you want to do another vanilla save. Now, Skyrim does have the quick save feature. I highly recommend. But when you're doing mods and stuff like that, it's always a smart move to manually save your game. The reason being is if you do have a mod that causes a glitch, you'll want to be able to go backwards in time to be able to fix that so you don't completely ruin your game. So here you see we're going into the mod section. Okay. There are several different categories of mods that you get to choose from. As you see right now, I am looking at the most favorited. One thing that's important too is, just like anything, look at the ratings of the mods. Make sure that other gamers recommend them. If you find a mod's only got 1 or 2 reviews, you might want to stay away from it until you know that there's enough reviews and it's not causing people's games to crash. Remember that any one of these mods could cause your game to crash technically, and we'll talk about what the load order is. If you see at the bottom, it shows details, load order, search, and back. So load order can be important to the mods. I will tell you that most of the mods that require to be in a specific load order will mention that in the description. So it is important that you read the description of each individual mod. Now, as far as the mods go, last time I knew there was like around 300 for the Xbox One. Basically, you can extend the game up to another 5 gigabytes of mods. So there is everything from cheats to adding different homes, places, parts of the map, to graphic mods. The unofficial Skyrim patch, which you can see is the highest rated one. I would definitely recommend getting that one. And it really can totally change the way you play this game. So here we see that this mod changes the carrier to a female courier replacer. So it totally changes out one of the main characters in the game. So as we go to download it, it's pretty much that easy. Just click download. You'll see the process start. Now you can favorite the mod and I'll put it into your favorites bar. Report it if you had a problem with the mod. And again, don't forget to read the description to your right. Now that mod is downloaded. So you can see I have several mods downloaded already. You'll see it comes at the bottom of the list. Here you can change the load order. I just like to group my mods together. So if there's buildings, I group them together. If there's people mods or clothing mods, I group them together, and so on. It is pretty important to go through like the highest rated ones first, because typically those are the most reliable mods. So I'd highly suggest go through the highest rated and then the most favorited. Because they are the highest rated, most favorited. Like I said, usually those are the most reliable mods you can start with. Alright guys, right now you're seeing the Hunter's Treehouse mod. This is just one of the houses mods that you can add in. I do like this one as it is kind of a medium waypoint between Riverwood and Whiterun. It just gives you a little place that you can store items in, and you can do the alchemy. You have the tanning rack, and it's also a pretty cool view. Now again, some mods it is really important for you to look at the load order. For me, I just kind of like to keep things grouped together the best that I can. Now some mods like the campfire mod right here, which is really neat by the way, is it allows your player to start campfires pretty much anywhere in Skyrim. And you also have new attributes and things that you can level up. That one always has to stay number 1. It's in the description that way. And as these mods get updates, they kind of reorder themselves. But the ones that are important to staying in a certain position, like the campfire mod, will remain in position 1 after an update. A couple of these mods that are worthy of mentioning though, like the second one, the unofficial Skyrim patch, fixes all kinds of bugs and things like that in the game. The alternate start, that allows you to choose how you start the game. You could be a vampire, a werewolf, a prisoner. You can own a nice house, a castle when you start. Ars Metallica, that's also another great mod because it allows you to make your own arrows and gives you more options when you're doing the smithing. Now, if you're looking for a particular mod and you know the name of it, you can always use the search bar just to start typing in and see what comes up. As you see, I typed in spinning, and this is what I was looking for. The spinning main menu emblem. Now, this mod really doesn't change anything in the game. It just literally has the emblem start spinning. I do like it though, because when I restart the game after I enable my mods, while I'm switching back and forth between vanilla Skyrim and a modded Skyrim save, after I restart the game and I see the emblem start spinning, I know my mods have taken effect. As you see here, I'm restarting now. And see, the mod is still not spinning. So when you exit after doing your mods, it automatically changes the load order, okay? But sometimes it takes backing out of the game, quitting it, and coming back in for all the mods to take effect. Now you're seeing I'm changing the load order for the spinning emblem right now. Was that important? Not necessarily. You can experiment with things like that though. As soon as I change the load order, you see that it prompted me to restart the game. It's so dark. And again, even though I changed the load order, the spinning emblem wasn't working because I need to completely back out of the game. So this is the trial of error stuff that you learn as you're playing around with mods. And there you see it, I disabled the mod and re-enabled it to try to see if I can get it working. But most of the mods, as soon as you download them and they're enabled, they will work. And now after backing out of the game and restarting, you see that the mod is taking effect and the emblem is spinning. Again, I like to use that one because that's how I know when my mods are enabled or if I need to go in and disable the mods. So, and we're going to talk about that here in just a moment too. So here we can see the updates. What is nice though is like those will be the first prompt you get as soon as you go to the mod screen. The first section will say updates. So any apps that you have, or I'm sorry, any mods that you have that need to be updated will immediately be prompted. And it's just as simple as going into the mod and clicking on update and waiting for it to download. Once that happens, there really isn't any more action that you have to take. So you can see as they're constantly fixing bugs and doing things to make the mods better, you will see updates from time to time. Now, you probably have noticed too on some of the options you see favorite. You also see the option for disable, delete, rate. So again, disable, if there's an individual mod that you want to disable, you can do so. Once you save a game with a mod on it though, and you try to re-enter the game when you had it with that mod and now it's disabled, you will get a prompt saying that the save game doesn't have all the required mods basically. Depending on how important that mod was, you know, that can cause the game to crash, so you gotta be careful with that. And the second thing is, you know, if it's a smaller mod, which like clothing, or maybe the quiver mod, which basically puts the quiver on your hip versus your back, those really don't affect anything. You can go ahead and reload your game, and it shouldn't hurt anything. It is important that I mention that when you are deciding to do mods, that don't go crazy and download 50 mods at one time and try to start a new game. More than likely, your game's going to crash. I suggest just a couple mods at a time. You know, now I've heard from other gamers, oh, just do one mod at a time. Well, I've been able to do like 5. So I would tell you, if you do 5 mods, you know, and you have a problem, it's easier to go back and disable those 5 mods and figure out what was causing the problem. And that's why it's so important to have several saves. And then enable one mod at a time to make sure that your game is working properly. If you start throwing, you know, tons of mods on there, it's going to be really hard to pinpoint which mod was causing the crash or the problem. So I would highly recommend just a few mods at a time. Again, look at the description, you know, check and see how many reviews. You can see the 5-star rating for this mod, The Forgotten City. You can see that it has several hundred different reviews, and under the description, and you can see this one actually has 5 different awards. So you got to remember, some of these mods were on the PC for years, and now we're finding them on the Xbox One, which is really awesome, by the way. So, you know, wait till the mod completely downloads, and you will see the little download icon when you're looking at the menu. You will see that this mod is at the bottom. That's a default. And again, you know, being that this is a big mod and it adds a whole nother area to the map, I decided to go ahead and put it up in the load order. That way, because it's a more important mod. So again, basically the load order is just what it says it is. It's going to load the first mod, second, third, and so on in that order. Anything underneath of a primary mod will be loaded in that order. So again, if you just have a bunch of secondary mods like money or cheats or clothing or characters, and then you put like the big ones like the city and stuff, it's going to load all those first. So probably a good idea to load what's most important, like your weather, your graphics, your Skyrim patch, you know, the big guys first. Then put all your little stuff underneath. Alright guys, now as we're going through our mods, there's probably some other things that you are going to want to know. One, how do we disable all the mods? Well, here you go into your load order, and then you see the option to disable all mods. There is also an option to delete all mods. You definitely want to disable all mods if you're switching from your modded game to your vanilla version. If you do delete all mods and you try to reload your modded version, you will have to reinstall every one of the mods that you had on your loaded version before it would be able to work. So just keep that in mind.
Beware the creatures of the night.
Alright guys, and then once you have your mods, just go ahead and start your game and enjoy. Again, like I said, take your time with your mods. If you do run into some problems, it is worthy to mention that you may have to clear the extra save data in your game options, and that's as simple as going to your Skyrim game, hitting your menu button, and going to manage game. Once you go to manage game, you'll see your local save data, and there will also be the mod save data, and you'll know it's the mod save data because it'll be like 5 gigabytes. You can actually clear that modded save data, and once you do that, it would erase any extra mods that you have that you have installed on the game that could be causing problems. So that is like a last resort if you're having any type of issues with the game after you did mods. But if you take your time and just do a couple mods at a time, then hopefully you won't have the same problems as I did, because I totally crashed my game. I probably loaded like 50 mods on and I just went for it, and I was playing and things started glitching and people's lips were moving, they weren't talking, and before I knew it, it just froze and I couldn't reload it. There was all kinds of issues. I tried to delete certain mods and eventually lost my modded save game. So hopefully, you know, for you guys, if you watch this video, you can really kind of take your time with the mods and really get to enjoy Skyrim. So, you know, let me just tell you what's going on right here. This mod in particular was the alternate start mod. See, I started as a vampire. So really cool, totally started in a new place. It's not even like playing the same Skyrim. I mean, it's like just a whole different take on the game. So I will say that mods are making the game really fun. I'm really enjoying them. I definitely would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. So all you club members that we have, the Launchpad, go ahead and leave some comments. Feel free to post videos, screenshots. We're really enjoying the game, so I'd like to hear what you guys think about Skyrim Special Edition. To me, I think that aged well, the graphics are good, and it's really about the gameplay when it comes to Skyrim. So that's what makes it super fun. So anyway, just want to say thank you guys, and enjoy your time in Tamriel. Join the Launchpad Club today.